Hello, 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 and welcome to Trading Made Easy right here on YouTube. I am certainly glad that you found yourself here. Okay, so today I'm going to do a quick top-down analysis in 15 minutes or less. Now, of course, that's going to be because I am narrating through this process, but literally a top-down analysis, honestly, an effective one can take you as little as 5 minutes, right? So I'm going to start with that, and hopefully you'll be able to pick up on some additional nuggets that you can add to what you're already doing, or this may be a completely new lesson for you. So I'm looking forward to you getting as much out of it as possible. Now, before we begin really quick, if you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead on and subscribe. If you're a trader of any instrument, right, you want to definitely be connected to Trading Made Easy because I focus on simple, easy trading strategies that will get you at least 20 pips, right? Certainly you can get more, but at least 20 pips, because here's the deal. If you can get 20 pips every single time that you enter into a trade, you can 20 pip your way to financial freedom. Now, let me just say this, and I'm going to start incorporating this in my videos because I have not been doing that. I am not your financial advisor. I must give you this disclaimer. The trading decisions that you make is solely based on your decision to execute. I am here to provide you my insight, what's been working for me, and it's up to you if you want to use some of these ideas. So with that being said, I'm not your financial advisor. I do recommend that you work in demo until you can perfect a strategy, whatever that is, a trading methodology, whatever that is. Until you can do that with your eyes closed, until you can do that in your sleep, I do recommend that you work in demo while you're doing that. And lastly, do not invest in any amount of money that you cannot afford to lose. Because what you have to keep in mind is that whatever amount of money that's in your broker's account, consider that loss, right? Because there is a potential of you losing everything in that account. So what you want to do is when you're doing your day-to-day trading, you want to make sure that your risk, the amount that you're risking is an amount that you're okay with losing. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay. So what we're doing right now is, and I do apologize, it always happens when I'm doing a video. Okay, so what we're doing right now is we are going to do a quick top-down analysis. I'm starting on the monthly time frame. Now, on the monthly time frame, I say realistically, but basically, I should say, what I look for is to block in price, right? What I look for is to block in price. Now, the monthly time frame is primarily used for position traders. These are our traders, big institutions, right? Big institutions that trade. They put millions and millions of dollars into the system. These are individuals who hold their trades at least a month, if not more, right? And they make a lot of money. So that's what a monthly trader is a position trader, right? All right, but for us, a retail trader, what we're looking for primarily is just to identify your high that price went and the low that price went, and just box it in. So this area right here, this area right here, right? And that's it. Now, what this means though is this is the range in which price, is moving. Now, could it break? Absolutely. But again, this is on a monthly. I'm not a monthly trader, right? So it doesn't matter. I'm not looking at a break. I'm just looking at the range in which price can potentially move. So this is where your pips are. And what you want to decide is how many pips you want to get out of that total, right? Out of that total. So what we're going to do real quick is, now this active candle right here, this is our monthly candle right here. Each one of these candles open and close in 1 month. And of course, it's bearish, right? So let's just look at it from the standpoint of price moving down, right? Price moving down to this point right here. That is 1,364 pips. to the downside. If price was to move up, you're looking at a potential 1,064 pips to the upside, okay? And so that's what position traders do. They'll put a position in and take it to the low or take it to the high, what have you, right? Now, so that's what we're doing here. Then we're going to drop down to the weekly. Okay. Now on the weekly, what you want to begin doing on the weekly is looking for patterns, identify patterns, trends, things like that. That's what you want to be doing on the weekly. Now on the weekly, what I'm looking at right now is a move to the downside, right? A move to the downside. That's what I'm looking at. Now on the weekly, this move right here is a correction, because on the weekly your trend is bullish, right? That's your impulse is bullish, and so this will become a correction. And let me just change the color real quick so that we can identify the time frame. So for my weekly trend line right here, let's just go with this aqua blue. Alrighty. Now what we want to do, so we've identified thus far, we're looking at a correction, right? We're looking at a correction. And let me go back real quick. On the monthly, we're bullish as well. So this is a correction on the monthly also, okay? But I start looking at that on my weekly because I'm identifying patterns and trends on my weekly. Okay, so we're looking at a correction. Now let's drop down to the daily. Now once you get to the daily, you're looking to see if your trend line is being respected, right? Is it being respected on the daily, okay? So on the daily, we're looking at a bearish trend forming, right? Are you surprised? Absolutely not, because on the weekly, we were in a correction, right? So this correction is playing out on the daily. And that's why you see the bearish big arrow here and you see price trending down. So let's just straighten out our trend, okay? Let's straighten our trend out. And that's what we're doing on a daily, straightening out the trend, okay? Okay. Let's straighten this out a little bit. Straighten that out a little bit. Okay. Now here's the other thing too is on the daily, this is what? An impulse. This is an impulse on the daily. It's a correction on the weekly and the monthly. So with that being said, knowing that the higher time frame is master, that's the master, then we know that we're in a pullback, right? We know we're in a pullback at this point. But if you were trading the daily, and this would be considered a impulse because it's in the same direction of the trend, okay? I don't like the way this trend line looks. Let's straighten that out. Okay, now let's go down to our 4 hour, Now on the 4 hour, we'd again straighten out your trend line if you need to, like here, right? Because on the trend line, you should have at least 2 touches, 1, 2, and then follow through, right? 1, 2, and then follow through. So what I'll do is I'm gonna take it from here, and I'm looking for at least 2 touches of this trend line. When I get at least 2, you can follow through. If you get more, that's even better. But 1, 2, follow through. So 1, 2, follow through. So this hit right here and this hit right there is what I am identifying. Alrighty, so that's your trend. That's your trend on the 4 hour. Now on the 4 hour, we are what? We are bullish on the 4 hour. Now remember, on the higher time frame, the weekly and the monthly, we were bullish as well. We were bullish as well. So now on the 4 hour, what is happening? We're in a what? Continuation, a continuation to the overall trend that is on the weekly and the monthly. So we're in a continuation right here. Now this is a bearish trend line. So what we're looking for is a break of that trend line, a bullish break and close of that trend line. right? And so it happened a little bit here, which was a little doji. And then we pulled back, and now we have a bullish candle that closed on Friday above, and it broke the trend line, right? So what this is telling us is that price wants to start to move up. Now, of course, before we enter a trade, we have more confirmations. I'm just doing a top-down analysis so that you can understand how price movement happens from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. Now, so we're in on the 4 hour, we're in a what? A continuation to the higher, from the higher time frame. Now let's drop down to the 1 hour. The 1 hour, how's our trend line looking, right? Still respected here. We had a nice break right there. Anytime that you have a break of the trend line, the structure has been broken. Now what you do is you reset, right? You reset by identifying another trend line, right? And so that's what we're going to do here. And right here, we're looking at a move up. Got this nice little move up here, right? And let's go ahead and change that color as well so that we can keep track. We're on the hour time frame. Let's just make that red. So we have a bullish movement in alignment with the overall trend. The master trend is bullish on, is a continuation on the 4 hour, is a continuation on the hour, right? So this is in alignment with the overall trend. So let's drop down. Now for me, well, for the sake of training, let me do the 30. I just go to the 15 for the most part, okay? Now, this trend line though is, let's scrunch it in some. Alrighty, where are we? Okay, so on the 30 minute, we're still trending up on the 30 minute. And of course, our overall trend on the 30 minute is in alignment with our overall master trend, which is good. You always want to be on the side of the trend, always on the side of the trend, right? And of course, as you can see, our big arrows are in alignment with that as well. So that serves as another confirmation, which is the reason why I think having the simplicity trading system is so invaluable, because it's a very, very strong confirmation of what price is doing. Now, I do believe as well, and I'm a big advocate for you understanding what's going on with price independently, and you using the indicators to confirm it. And strong confirmations are really good. It really does. It reinforces your confidence that what you're looking at and what you're analyzing is on point, right? And we need that when we're trading. We need that, okay? All righty. So on the 15 minute, we are bullish on the 15 minute. And of course, we are rallying up. And of course, you can't help but to keep, to look left to see what price did in the past and identify potential TP areas, which I'm looking at this area right in here as a good TP area. I also see a nice W, right? It's nice W. So we're going down right here. We came back up here in this area, went back down, and now we're on the second leg. Now, the second leg of the pattern, whether it's a W or M, that is your trending leg or your momentum leg. That's where you're going to get your push. So this is definitely an opportunity for a buy. Now, you should feel very confident in the buy because it's in alignment, with the higher time frame. So you're not trading against the trend. You're not trading against the trend. And that's very, very important. Now, on the 4 hour, I believe we were, so was it the daily? Yeah, we were, this is a counter trend right here on the daily. Now, let me show you though. Let me show you real quick and then we're gonna wrap it up. So on the daily, of course, it's trending bearish, which would be a counter trend from the master trend, right? But what is happening also, though we're counter trend on the daily, okay? You see these two right here. You got this candle right here, and then you have this doji right there. So let me just go ahead and move this out of the way so that you can see it. Everything on your chart tells a story, my friend. Everything tells a story. It's like a puzzle. Each piece is valuable and it tells the story. It creates the story. Okay, so you got that. All right, so we have this candle right here. This was the last candle that closed before the market closed on Friday, right? It is a doji. What is a doji? A doji is an indecision candle. And it is also a reversal candle because typically when you see a doji, you see the opposite candle. Within like the next two candles or so, you see the opposite candle. So if we're looking for if that indicates an opposite candle, what's the previous candle? Because it would be the opposite of that, right? Another way that you can look at that as well is a bullish doji. And so that's the expectation that we can look for in the next opposite candle, bullish, right? So the candle prior to this doji is bearish. So if the doji typically gives you the opposite candle, then obviously the opposite of a bearish candle is bullish, right? So it just depends on how you look at it. Now, so with that being said, this is a bullish doji, indicating a bullish candle, right? That's what it's indicating, a bullish candle, okay? And also, remember, never forget to identify your support and resistance, right? Because price always moves from one support or resistance area to the next. So I saw where price, this wick hit here, dropped my line, it hit here, that's 2, right? We want at least 2. We got wick action right here. Now that became resistance. So it's support over here, resistance over here, right? And you see how the wicks hit and drop, or the wicks went through and pulled back, then close above or below it, right? Depending on what direction it is. So this is a good area where price will potentially have what? A reaction. So with that being said, I'm moving a little fast because I really want to hold true to the time frame. And of course, the YouTube videos are not designed to get a full out training. That's why I have coaching sessions. Now I'm going to leave one link that will link you to everything that I offer. So access that, decide what you want to do, but it's all coaching. It's all developing you as a trader, helping to fine tune your trading ability, your skill set, and that kind of thing. Remember, simple, easy trading. I don't do anything complicated. So if that is you, simple, easy, and convenient, then I'm definitely your girl. Okay. So I just put this vertical line right here on this doji. Now we're going to drop down and let's look for that vertical line. See, this is what, man, you don't get the vertical line. It don't transfer over, right? But let's go back because I want you to see this. I want you to see it disappears. So, but if I put a shape on it, it tends to stay. So let's go ahead on and put a shape on this doji real quick. Let's put a shape on this doji real quick, okay? Come on, play nice with me. Okay, I'm just gonna put it right there. It's not centered, but you know what it is. So on the 4 hour, let's look for that. All right, right here. Now this area right here is the activity that's taking place, that it was taking place inside of the doji. This area right here. Remember, on the daily, each candle is a day, right? So how many 4 hour candles makes up a daily candle, right? Or a 24 hour period. That's 6. So let's go down, right? So we got 6 4 hour candles make one daily candle. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, voila, 6. So everything in this area is inside of that doji. This is what's happening inside of that doji, right? And so you do see where you had to push up, then it pulled back, and now it's pulled back up, right? It's pulling back up. That's what you're seeing inside of that doji. Now, let's drop down to see the indecision. You see the indecision, that was a bullish doji, and you have more bullish activity. It's back and forth, but you can see the bullish activity that's taking place that coincides with that bullish doji, right? All right, so now let's drop down to the, let's go ahead on and put a horizontal. I think I am over my 15 minutes. I've been trying, I do. I'm a trainer at heart. I am a trainer at heart. Come on. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Try to keep a clean chart, but let's go and put another rectangle here, right? And let's color code that yellow. Let's make it yellow. Okay, so now that candle right here is what we're looking at. That's a 4-hour candle. Now the question is, how many 1-hour candles does it take to make one 4-hour candle? 4, right? Okay, so let's drop down. Now we're bullish. So what are we expecting to see when we get to that 1 hour? We're expecting to see some bullish activity, right? Because here's what you want to always remember. What takes place on the higher time frame plays out on the lower time frame. So on the 1 hour, there we go, right here. How many candles was it? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 candles that it takes to make one 4-hour candle, right? So this is the activity that is actually taking place inside of that one 4-hour candle that we identified. So obviously what is happening is trending up, is trending up. This is how you go about your analysis, breaking it down time frame to time frame and even candle to candle. Now, looking at this as well, I do see, looking left always, what did it do in the past, right? I'm looking at this area here as a good area for a TP, right? That's a good area for a TP that you can potentially, take, right? Also, what I'm looking at is the beginning of an inverted head and shoulder pattern. That's going to be another video. We're going to talk about those types of patterns. They are reversal patterns, but nevertheless, that's another video. Okay, so that's what's happening. That's what's happening. And then I like to drop down to the 15. So obviously, what position would one be taking in this case? It would be a bullish position. Why? Because it's in alignment with the higher time frame. Is in alignment with the higher time frame. From the 4-hour down to the 15-minute is in alignment with the higher time frame, meaning it's in a continuation. It's going back in the direction of the master trend. So that's always the best position to take. And so a bullish run would definitely be my trade idea based on a really quick top-down analysis, So let's go here, right, for that candle right there. And let's go ahead and make it, oh my gosh, come on. Why does not want to work for me? Okay, so let's change the color to that and make it like a lime or green of some sort. Okay, great. All right, so now let's drop down to the 15-minute. That was a bullish candle, right? And this was the color inside of there. And so that was for an hour. So it's 15 minutes, right? So how many 15-minute candles does it take to make one 1-hour candle, right? That's the question that you want to be asking yourself. How many 15 minutes? So that's what, 4, right? So that's 15 is 30, 15 is 30. So that's 4 candles. So 1, 2, 3, 4 right here, right? Bullish going up. And there we go. We got our big arrow that supports that as well, right? Quick. Now you know what position that you would be taking, right? You would have been able to also identify your take profit, right? And keep this in mind as well. I don't even have all of the simplicity elements on here. That also serves as additional confirmation. This is just the eye. This is just the naked eye. And so what I recommend for anyone who do not have the Simplicity trading system, get the system. Get the system because it definitely makes trading easy. Now, I could have put some lines on here that would have blown your mind. I could have drawn channels that would have totally confused you or just made your head hurt. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. We have a system that's simplistic. We have a system that allows you to trade what you see. Now, what I bring in addition to that is the additional knowledge behind what you're seeing, because I do believe that when you have that coupled with the system, you will be a force to be reckoned with on these charts. And that is the name of the game. So if you have not subscribed, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a great one. Bye-bye.